A lot has happened since you were last here. Some players have left, some prospects for the future that we'll never see play have arrived, and we are now in the month of February. It's the Champions League knockout stage. We may even have a cup final today as well. Yeah, let's talk about that in just a mo. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to Park to Prem. We are here with Crystal Palace as always, or I say as always, as we have been for the last 2.5 months, really. Today we are taking on Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League first knockout round. It's a really, really big game for us. I'm hoping that we're going to win the first leg so convincingly, I don't feel like I need to return for the second leg. We do also have the small matter of the EFL Cup final today, potentially, probably. Look, we're taking on Newcastle in it, a Newcastle team who have been a bit of a regular occurrence, I feel like, as of late. I've just played them in the league, and they're not going to be pushovers, I don't think. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, we had a bit of a busy January, more so with outs than ins in terms of significant money. We made a total of over £50 million in sales. Suji was the first player to leave us for Olympiacos. We signed him for 1.2 million a couple of years ago. He's now gone to Greece for 21.5 million. Was unhappy, wanted to play regular first team football. I couldn't give him it. Another player who forced his way out of the club was Stanic, a player who we picked up a few years ago at a similar time to Suji. He is a Croatian international who, as of late, has not been in the national team setup. He wanted to get regular first team to go and do that, and as such, we've sold him to Salzburg. We double our money, £22 million made. I'm happy with that. And the last of the big sales in January might come as a little bit of a shock. Actually, a player who came through our academy, who isn't a bad player, but he's never going to be good enough for us. Chris Lucas, you can see here, never made an appearance, has since moved to Watford. £15 million we received. He's a good player. I don't necessarily think he's a £15 million player, but Watford, down in the Championship, decided they wanted to spend big on him. So yeah, we waved goodbye. It was one of those things where it was almost too good of an offer to refuse. So some money made, and I decided I did want to reinvest some money and sign some players for the future after we leave. One player who I didn't talk about, who we actually signed back in the summer towards the end of the transfer window, was Grant Boers. He has since gone back to FC United. South African international, can play as a striker, can play as a centre attacking mid. Really good, technically gifted player, only 19 years old. I think he could be a good little player in the future. And in terms of the players we picked up this January, the first is Ji Jun, who is a Chinese centre-back who has limited potential. But I don't know, with us having a Chinese owner, I kind of wanted to give Duan Jin a parting gift. So I decided that signing the Chinese national team centre-back, aged 18, was a good parting gift. He hasn't said thank you yet for it. Elsewhere, we made a trio of signings. The most expensive was Forup, who we picked up from Copenhagen. 18 years old, looks like he could be a really, really good advanced forward. Already a phenomenal talent, 18 years old. As I said, we spent 12 million on him, and whilst I don't think he'll get near the first team, he's the kind of player who my successor can hopefully sell on for a little bit of money. And I suppose that mindset somewhat applies to the other players here. The first we've got here is Kalin, who is a Romanian striker and right winger. Not a bad player at all. A little bit of potential, signed for 3.4 million. And the last of the players picked up was Jan Muller, who we signed from, is it Vitoria over in Portugal? I've not got the real name fixed. I think they're called Vitoria. Either way, he was signed for £1 million. He can play right back, he can play centre back, he can play centre defensive mid. 18 years old, bags of potential, signed for absolute peanuts at less than £1 million, and he's now valued at 29 to 42 million. So I'm going to consider it a good signing. So as well as the transfers, we've had a lot of action going on the football pitch. Of course, we left things last time after back-to-back wins against both Chelsea and Liverpool. Since then, we've won every single game in the league. We've actually set a new Premier League record for, I think it's 18 or 19 wins in a row. No one's ever done that before. We are on fire, and as you've already seen, we've made it to the EFL Cup final, and we also won in the first 2 rounds the FA Cup, which we'll talk about just now. So anyway, let's go through this really quick. Newcastle, who we've got in a cup final, we beat 2-0 in the league. De Silva and Zandbergen with the goals there. We then won in the EFL Cup against Nottingham Forest 2-1 and followed that up with a 2-1 win away from home against West Ham. Into the month of January, we went where we beat Man City 2-0. Middleby getting on the score sheet was really, really nice to see. We followed that up with convincing wins against Wolverhampton Wanderers and then Watford in the EFL Cup semi-final first round. first leg, we won 4-0. So the second leg was kind of irrelevant, and we managed to win that one 3-1. In between those two semi-final games, we played Sheffield United in the FA Cup. A fully rotated team could only draw, but we did win the replay 4-3. This was perhaps the most difficult game we've had, and it was against Sheffield United. Our B team just about scraped by in the end. A bit of a monumental comeback, to be fair. We were 3-1 down with 20 minutes left. As you can see here, Middleby, I mean, he scored in the 95th minute. I feel like we should watch it. So this goal here got us the win. And it was nice to see Middleby find the back of the net, bursting through from that left shadow striker position, and he hammered it into the top corner to make sure we made it to the FA Cup 4th round where we took on Chelsea. But before we could take on Chelsea, a couple of Premier League games to end the month. We kept 3 clean sheets in a row as we dispatched of Wolverhampton Wanderers, Southampton and Sheffield United as we played a full-strength team against Sheffield United the second time around. We then beat Chelsea to start the month, and since then we have also beaten Fulham and Newcastle. So in terms of how the Premier League looks, we're winning a lot, we're scoring a lot, we're not conceding many, and we are running away at the top of the table. 18 points clear. Unlike the previous few years, I'm going to say it now with 11 games left, I think the title is ours. So of course, with the Premier League going so well, the EFL Cup final looms. We have the Champions League first leg today against Eintracht Frankfurt. As I said, if we get a really good result in this first leg, I probably won't come back and do the second leg of the knockout stage next time. Rather, we'll come back for the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I feel like at this point, this is ground that we've all trodden before. We kind of know what the deal is. Today, we're going to beat Frankfurt. I'm then going to do Liverpool and Chelsea off camera and then come back. And fingers crossed, touch wood, win a third successive EFL Cup against Newcastle. So in terms of team news going into this game in the Champions League, full strength team here. This is the competition which really has my full focus. There was a little bit of interest in players like Marcus Tullio over the course of January, but he has opted to stay. Elsewhere, Lopez is coming back from his broken arm. A fitness test is not required, so he is going to start up top. He has been a little bit of a miss, I suppose, as of late in the final third. As you can see here, we're in a really, really good spot. Elpert and Lind are not available because we only get 7 subs in Europe. But on the whole, it's a team that doesn't really have any question marks or worries over it. We're in a really, really good spot right now. Now, traditionally, in this kind of Champions League game, we bottle the first leg away from home and we leave ourselves with a lot to do going into the home leg. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case here, as we've actually won the ball back in a really good possession. Not twice, but twice. Not once, but twice. Lopez, Carlier hits it. It's cleared away. Lopez, Zambergen. I can't get my words out to start the match. That's not good. At least the players have started well. Carlier hits the woodwork. 0-0 still. 10 minutes in, we're knocking on the door. Let us in, Frankfurt. From one highlight into another here, it's all action to kick things off. I've just noticed they've got Luan at centre-back, who, if I'm not mistaken, was our centre-back back when we were in the Championship. Lopez is played through, gets in behind Luan, goes wide, loads of players in and around him, gives it to De Silva, who skies it. I did just go and check for my own sanity. I can confirm Luan played for us back when we were in the Championship. In fact, I sold him 6 months into my reign at the club for 17 million. And here he is now. How many years later? How many years have we been at Palace now? 8 years later, I'm just saying the number. 8 years later, we've crossed paths again. I'm hoping that we're going to come out on top in this one. Zambergen tries to pick out Lopez. Luan, go on, make an error, my son. Remember who made you. Tell you what, he's actually worked it quite nicely. I thought for a second Frankfurt were going to get in behind, but Sanchez recovered really, really well for us. Fontana now with the ball. Lopez, Carlier, bursting through the middle, gives it back to Lopez. De Silva on the overlap, the captain, with another fine opportunity. This time he's hit the target. This time he was made the stop. Fontana over the corner. Maybe a chance here. Penner, header saved. Not once, but twice there as the rebound was stopped by Schneebauer. Fantastic name, by the way, Schneebauer. That's a fun name, isn't it? Schneebauer. Yeah, I'm probably saying it incorrectly. He's taken the goal kick. We're going forward. Carlier bursting forward. Can he find the finish? No. When the Champions League knockout stage draw was happening, I did kind of look at Frankfurt as one of the preferable teams. I don't think they're as good as some of the other teams that were in the hat. I suppose when you look at the balance of this first half, kind of reinforces that idea. We've been all over them, but yet to find the breakthrough. Maybe an opportunity here. Lopez opts to shoot from range, and I'm not sure why. Keeper more than up to it. And Chiric has now got injured. Sanchez is going to have to move to left back, and then we're going to bring in Collins. Do I want to play Collins at right back? It's never happened before. I mean, the plan was always to play him at right back. I guess that is the plan. Right before half-time, Chiric gets injured. We will hope that's not a long-term one. Of course, I didn't have Elpert on the bench today. And, well, with that injury, the half concludes. It's still 0-0. I'm far from pleased. More needed in the second half. But a bit of a slow start to the second half here. It's taken 15 minutes for us to see a bit of action, but maybe a chance for us here. Lopez bringing it forward, squares it to Carlier, who hits it, and in off the post. Finally, we see the ball nestle in the back of the net. Really, really nicely worked goal. Really good finish, actually, by the end there by Carlier. First time finish, never easy. Charging into the box with a sprint. No one picking up his run here. Just acres of space to manoeuvre into, but still had to place it. There was not a lot of the goal open there. And, well, with that, we get a deserved lead. And with it, I think I'm going to take it as an opportunity to make some changes. Horniak on a yellow scares me. I'm bringing in George. And you know what? We'll save one last sub in our back pocket. Set piece perhaps here. Zambergen whip it in. Tullio goes down in a heap. Referee is going to consult VAR. I have to assume this is going to be given as a penalty. One of those weird ones that when they go against you, you complain. You start swearing at your centre-back, telling them they're useless. When it goes in your favour like this one has for us, I don't complain. You say, yeah, definite foul. We'll take the penalty. De Silva, number 9, the captain, misses it. I hope we're not going to live to regret all these missed chances. Okay, can we get a crucial second goal here? I feel like a second goal, and I don't have to worry about the second leg. We know we can skip the second leg. We don't need to see in a video. We'll close it out comfortably. I'm pretty confident in our kind of performance in this leg that going into the home leg will play just as well. But it'd be nice to go in with just a little bit more of a cushion, I suppose. Tullio, Fontana, Lopez takes it down nicely, spreads it to Carlier, plays it back to Lopez, who hits it. Wrong side of the post. We've created so much here and scored so little. You know what? It's time for Erling Haaland, isn't it? It's time for Erling Haaland. Where are you, son? Come on. De Silva's missed a penalty. I'm not happy with him. If you need a goal, just bring on Erling Haaland. It's what my grandma used to say. I'll tell you what. It turns out my grandma is a liar. Finishes 1-0 here against Frankfurt. It was a really, really dominant display. We had chances. We just didn't take them. It does leave me with a little bit of a dilemma for kind of next episode. Do you guys want to see the second leg? Maybe I play the second leg with kind of recording on standby. If need be, I can always jump in midway through the episode. But just based on that first leg performance, I feel like we're going to make it through against Frankfurt. And rather than kind of dedicate today's episode to that second leg, I just want to play the EFL Cup final and party. I don't know about anyone else. I feel like I want to put on the standing up desk and, well, do battle against the Toon army. So Chiric, unfortunately for us, is going to be out for 3 weeks, so that is a little less than ideal. We'll leave it to the physio rather than giving him injections. I'm going to go forward and play the games against Liverpool and Chelsea in the league. We're going to have a big eye ahead to the cup final. Down in the comments, let me know if you would like to see the Frankfurt game. I don't feel like it warrants it, but maybe I'm just being complacent. I don't know. Answers on a postcard, let me know. So game number 2 today is upon us. We are taking on Newcastle, but we did play 2 games in the intermission. Those games against Liverpool and Chelsea. The first game, a 1-0 win. Gurajaga with a 90th minute winner. I played a rotated team for this one because, I'll be honest, the fixture congestion is mad. Kind of sacrificing Premier League results if we need to is what has to be done. In the end, Lopez stole the ball away and Gurajaga had the goal at his mercy, showed no mercy and put us ahead. We won that game 1-0. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep our winning run in the Premier League going, and in fact, it's taken a while, but we finally have our first draw of the season in the Premier League, would you believe? In this game, Arezzo gave Chelsea the lead. Words are hard. We came back though. McIntosh scored in the 82nd minute. You can see here McIntosh at left back getting the best rating in our team. In a team that was a bit of an unorthodox look, I suppose, as we rotated things around. Worth noting, the reason McIntosh is playing at left back is because Sanchez has got a hip injury. He's out for 2 to 3 months. That's not ideal. It means he's probably going to miss the rest of the season. We might have seen our last games with Claudio Sanchez playing for us, which, I don't know, just the thought of that makes me feel a little bit sad. Chiric, unfortunately, is still out injured. You can see here, still out for 5 to 11 days after that injury in the previous game. And in terms of the other left-back option we have in Elpert, he himself has been coming back from food poisoning, which meant that McIntosh played at left-back for that last game. It's been a little bit of a mess at the back. The good news for us is, with the exception of the full-back areas, we're kind of okay for this game. We're going into this match against Newcastle at Wembley. Bowyer is going to come in and play inverted wing-back on the right-hand side. So far this year, Bowyer's put in some really, really good performances for us. A 7.49 rating. I suppose the nice thing about this situation is, whilst, yes, we have lost our first choice right-back, the man coming in to play right-back has started 19 games this year. The amount we've rotated the team is actually mad. I don't think I've ever had such a well-rounded squad where essentially I've got the minutes split 50-50 between kind of, you know, the team as a whole. There's kind of 2 players for every position and they just alternate matches. It's a nice situation to be in. It's the kind of situation which means going into a game like this, we're ready and refreshed. Newcastle, on the other hand, might have a little bit of fatigue about them. So we are going to submit our team for this one. This is a game that we go into and I'm expectant of a win, which is perhaps a dangerous mentality to have, but we have got an early chance here. Fontana whips it in, Tullio nods it, and Horniak's there at the back post. Tullio, what he lacks in actual attributes, he makes up for in the match engine. Do you have any players like this in Football Manager? Players that when you look at them, they're just not as good as everyone else, but they always just seem to, I don't know, contribute in the big moments. Marcus Tullio, our vice-captain, is that man. He flicks on that near-post header. That goal is hopefully now going to ease the nerves a little bit as well. I feel like our recent run of games against Newcastle generally have been very, very positive. Newcastle in this save game were a real force for a few years, and then the ownership pulled the plug on their investment, have scaled it down, and well, they nearly went 2 goals down there inside the first 25 minutes. Unfortunately for us, the woodwork left shaking. We might still have another chance here from another corner, though. Penner nods it downwards. Penner's indicating he was pushed. The referee's going to check it. We've already been gifted one of these in the last game, and we missed it. Would I let De Silva take this penalty? You know, I'm not changing it. De Silva can have the penalty again. He's already missed one today. Can he get the goal for us here? Captain, fantastic. Number 9. He missed one already. He isn't going to miss 2. That was not the most convincing of penalties. Smashes it down the middle. Goal number 12 of the season. That's just reminded me of something really, really important. I can't believe I'm mentioning this in March, considering this happened 3 months ago, but Gurajaga won World Player of the Year and De Silva finished runner-up. I don't know why either. Apparently in all the news inbox items it talked about our Champions League run. In terms of the Ballon d'Or, Gurajaga won that as well. I know. And then if we look at the World Team of the Year, we're kind of dominating this as well. I mean, looking at it, we had, how many players? 5 players in the World Team of the Year starting 11 are our players. And on the bench, we had another 4 players. Yeah, we have quite a good team. I don't know why watching him score that penalty has reminded me that I forgot to mention that. But yeah, Gurajaga won the Ballon d'Or. De Silva, yeah, I know he missed a penalty last time, but he did finish second in the Ballon d'Or voting, so he is quite a good player. It's also kind of mad that both those players, Gurajaga and De Silva, we signed from Liverpool, and they finished first and second in the Ballon d'Or voting. Imagine how Liverpool fans must feel watching us having all this success. Okay, Schuster's through for them. Can we have a save, Leonardo? Of course we can have a save. Newcastle breaking through for the first time on the half-an-hour mark. Good stop by the keeper. Still going to be a corner for us to deal with potentially here. Velikov to whip it in towards the back post. Penner gets away from danger. And, well, with that, I think we're going to be maintaining our 2-goal lead at least for now. Corner for us. Fontana on the near side, whipping it in. Tullio already has an assist to his name. Very nearly had a goal just over the crossbar with that header, though. That said, straight from one highlight into another. It's Donnarumma in goal for Newcastle. Kind of gives you an idea of the quality that they've got. Donnarumma, very good in Football Manager, it turns out. And in real life as well. Horniak, Bowyer, playing as that inverted wing-back. Through the middle, tries to play through Lopez. I'll tell you what, he's overhit that pass, but we'll not be too critical. You know, he's doing okay, Bowyer. You know, he's got to fill in a little bit while Sanchez is out for the foreseeable future. It does leave me with a few concerns, actually. Sanchez being out and also Chiric being out at the same time doesn't help. But I do feel like at right back, we're going to have to experiment and kind of find out what our best setup is. What I do know is, in the final third, Lopez is part of a very good setup. Another goal for the man we brought in to get the goals this year. It is 3-0 after 38 minutes. For all the lack of killer edge and killer instinct and just killer mentality. I don't know why I've been watching murder mystery documentaries lately. For all the killingness that we've shown, we didn't show much of it against Frankfurt, did we? We showed them a degree of mercy. It's like we saved all that mercy for this game here. Where Newcastle, I'll be honest, are getting destroyed. Carlier plays through Lopez. He's through on goal again. He's just scored one. He's just scored another. Goal number 16 of the season. It's 4-0 after 39 minutes. Now, Lopez has 2 goals in 2 minutes here. He could get a 3-minute hat-trick if we score here. Where is Lopez? I'm trying to speak it into existence, really. Zandbergen plays through Carlier, who could be through. Good save by Donnarumma. Yeah, Lopez has got 2 in a couple of minutes here. He could be on for a cup final hat-trick, and it could end up being a recordly quick one. He is lurking at the back post, Lopez. He was under the ball for a second. Cleared away by Newcastle to now try and catch us on the counter, perhaps. Hervas, though, gifts us the ball. And I'll tell you what, it's been a pretty one-way first half. I think that's probably the understatement of a year. It's 4-0 at the break here at Wembley. Newcastle look rocked. It's weird, right? We had the games against Chelsea where we drew 1-1 and Liverpool where we won 1-0. For some reason, whenever I come back and hit the start record button, it's like the players know. They're a bunch of divas. They want to perform for the cameras, but when the cameras aren't on them, they don't care in the same way. It's frustrating. Maybe I should just live commentate every single match. Also, there's only 20 minutes left of this game all of a sudden. This second half has just kind of whizzed away. And did De Silva just catch the ball? I think De Silva just caught the ball. Is it football? Football, you use your feet. Penalties given. It looked like he just kind of caught it. Did anyone else see that? I'm not going crazy, I hope. Newcastle with a chance from the penalty spot to maybe inspire a late comeback. It's going to be Gonzalez over it. He hits it. Keeper goes the wrong way. I mean, surely it's too little too late, right? Now, I realise in this game, I've not actually made any subs, so let's make some here. I'm going to bring in George. I'm also going to take off Elpert for McIntosh. Bowyer on a booking scares me. We'll bring in Collins at right back. I am allowed 5 subs, I believe, in this final, so I'm also going to take off Fontana for David Lind, which might be a bit of a weird one, but I just trust David Lind in big games. Ever since he scored in the last Champions League final, he's been a bit of a go-to player in this kind of scenario where I know that I'm going to be weakening the 11 slightly, but like he's just a player who I trust to turn up in a weird way. You know, just that solid play. A bit of a James Milner. He's like a James Milner regen. You know, he's not the quickest player. He's not perhaps the most talented player, but he's just trustworthy. He has a job and he'll do it. Carlier through. Forces another stop out Donnarumma. I feel like Donnarumma is so embarrassed by his first half performance. He's really stepping up in this second half to keep it to just the 4. I say that, I mean, the damage has been done here, hasn't it? Newcastle trying to play out from the back. We're going to apply pressure high up the pitch. In fact, that big ball over the top splits us open. They get another back. It is going to be 4-2, and maybe you have to show them some respect. Gonzalez hits it just wide of the post, but an opportunity for Newcastle. Maybe just a little reminder. It's not done yet. Collins is going to take a throw in. They're down a man, Newcastle. They've got a man on the sideline being treated. And meanwhile, Zandbergen is going to absolutely crunch the crossbar, and the backspin takes out for a goal kick. I tried to speak the Lopez quick hat-trick into existence. I don't think he's even going to get a hat-trick, unfortunately, unless it's going to be a very, very late goal here. Newcastle with another chance. Newcastle have scored again. I mean, it's 4-2 and there's 2 minutes left. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Everyone just remain calm. Ever since I mentioned the Lopez quick hat-trick, we've not done anything. I think I kind of cursed our team by just insinuating we were destined to get a 5th. It's just not happened. The good news is for us, we are going to hold on just about. I want to say it wasn't the most convincing final. It was convincing in the sense that we went 4 goals up. But that late wobble at the end, just a little reminder that we're not entirely impenetrable at the back. And while wearing our retro kind of Crystal Palace FA Cup final inspired kit with the red shorts, the 80s and 90s Palace kit, we're going to hoist the EFL Cup, which is nice, but let's not get carried away. Leave the match. The confetti's nice. We've seen this before. We've won that trophy now 3 years in a row, which is a mighty fine achievement, but it's kind of the first step on a mountain ahead of us. I want to win the Premier League. That looks likely, but the Champions League is still a thing, and it's still a thing that we've got a long way to go through. I suppose the good news for us is that with how everything's going right now, we can shift all our focus onto the Champions League and the FA Cup. I think the Premier League is kind of wrapped up. That maybe makes things a little easier for us. Good news, I've entered the European Hall of Fame. Take that, Unai Emery. You could never. 8 domestic division wins, 6 cup wins. You can see some other stuff here. It's kind of mad. We never won anything with Three Bridges. It all started with FC United, where we won the Northern Premier Division back in 2025. And well, considering that was 12 years ago, been quite a good 12 years, really. So a really great result for us there in our final EFL Cup final as Crystal Palace manager. We won 3 in a row as I've already said, there is plenty more to do. Of course, we've got the Frankfurt second leg coming up. We won the away leg 1-0, so I do back us to do it at home. Let me know what you think about including that as a video. Other than that, have a lovely weekend. We are back on Monday. It's going to be some kind of Champions League football. Potentially, we'll come back for the quarterfinals, having already beaten Frankfurt. The Premier League may even be wrapped up by then, because as things stand, we are just rip-roaring away with the title at the top. I would love to get a 100-point season. We've not done that yet, and that is something that all the great Premier League teams tend to do. Thank you for watching, as always, today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys again for more soon, and until then, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.